deans, department chairs, distinguished guests, graduates, family, and friends. Welcome to the 2022 School of Engineering Graduate Program Ceremony. Before we get started, a few reminders. Please silence your cell phones, and please hold your applause until after each group is awarded their degrees. And please wear your mask throughout the whole ceremony. In addition, this event is being live streamed and recorded and will be posted online at a later time. I am honored to be the Dean of Graduate Education for the School of Engineering for Tufts University. Please help me in welcoming the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Master in Science and Engineering Management, Master of Science in Innovation Management, and Master of Science. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and welcome the deans, department chairs, and faculty to the 2022 School of Engineering Graduate Program Ceremony. Please be seated. We will now begin the ceremony. Good morning. I am sure that when you started here at your program a few years ago at Tufts University School of Engineering, you knew it would be challenging. You knew that you would have to work hard and that you'd have many barriers to overcome. But never, ever did we anticipate the life challenges that were ahead of us. However, you persevered and you are here today. Congratulations. You had to learn how to learn in new ways, how to socialize in isolation. But there wasn't really all that bad because you also got a glimpse into some of your faculty members' lives when an impromptu cameo by our children, pets, or even our own parents came into our meetings with you via teleprompts or via video. You also may have experienced profound loss. And I just want to let you know that today, while those folks can't be with us, they are here with you in spirit. And that even though you wish that you could say, I really made it, let me tell you that I know that what they would say to you is, of course you did. I always knew you'd make it. So keep that to your heart and know that they would be very proud of you on this day. All of you have had to overcome so much and so many challenges. It really took almost superpowers. So I want to let you know today that all of you, from your family, your friends, and all of the faculty here behind me, really know that you are all superheroes. Congratulations. Now please join me in welcoming the School of Engineering Dean ad interim and Carroll Family Professor, Dr. Ki-Young-Bum Lee.
Thank you, Dean Pineda. You're a superhero. On behalf of the School of Engineering, I am pleased to welcome you to the 2022 Engineering Graduate Program's Commencement Ceremony. My name is Ki-Young Lee. I'm the Interim Dean of School of Engineering, Carroll Family Professor, and Professor of Chemical and Biological Engineering. Graduates and loved ones, congratulations, you have done it. You should be very proud of yourselves. You worked extremely hard to get to this point. All of those late nights, early mornings, studying, missing family or social events to get those research projects and papers done have finally paid off. You may now have earned a graduate degree from Tufts University. The last 2 years have been extremely challenging, and I have been continually impressed and inspired by your dedication to education, your determination to reach your goals, and your support of one another as we continue to navigate through the pandemic. It is important to realize that you didn't take this journey alone. So please thank the people closest to you to help support and guide you along the way. I am tremendously proud of all of you. Graduates, you're about to be officially become Tufts alumni. Today's speaker is also an alumnus of Tufts University, who sat in your seats not so long ago. Dr. Brett Boghigian, graduate of Tufts University with a bachelor's degree in 2007 and a PhD in 2010, is the vice president of biologics platform at FL79, a biotechnology startup company incubating at Flagship Ventures. Prior to joining that company, he was one of the first employees at a biotech company called Indigo Agriculture, a privately held agricultural technology company based in Charlestown, Massachusetts, where he helped build the company from a 5-person organization to one with more than 1,000 employees that has raised over $1 billion in venture capital financing. He earned his bachelor's degree in chemical engineering with a minor in philosophy, and went on to complete his PhD in chemical engineering in 3 years with 14 publications. That's a lot. All here at Tufts. His research and work span the fields of biochemical engineering, microbiology, computational biology, and protein science, with applications in pharmaceuticals, nutrition, and agriculture. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Brett Boghigian. Please give him a warm jumbo welcome. It is also my honor to present Dr. Boghigian with the Dean's Medal of Honor in appreciation for his remarks today. Thank you, Brett.
Thank you. Good to do that. You going mask off here? Mask off. Okay, mask off. All right. So, yes, my name's Brett Boghigian. I want to spend a couple minutes talking a little bit about some memories I have from Tufts, a little bit of what Tufts Engineering has given you, and where you can take that in the world. And then I'm going to leave you with a few pieces of advice. So, as Dean Lee mentioned, graduated 2007, 2010, but my journey at Tufts actually started before that. So, I came here in 97 or 98. I was in like 7th or 8th grade for like a science Olympiad. And we were over at the computer lab at Anderson Hall, which of course looks very different today than it did back then. And we were over at the Cousens Gym. And I, quite frankly, didn't remember much about whether we won anything or lost anything or anything like that. But I remember it being a really cool place and extremely welcoming. So, it was a place that I kept in the back of my head. I went into high school, and I realized I was pretty good at chemistry and math and figured, well, chemical engineering was a good combination of those two things, not knowing anything else, really. And I remembered Tufts being a great place. So I looked at the intersection of Tufts and chemical engineering, and probably 2001, I was a junior in high school, met Jerry Meldon, so drove over to the SciTech Center and met Jerry Meldon, meeting a 16-year-old interested in chemical engineering. And again, I was looking back on that experience, I'm actually quite surprised that he took the time to come meet with me, which was exceptional. And one thing I remember vividly is he had a poster in his office of the Reservoir Dogs, Quentin Tarantino film. And I remember being like, oh, that's pretty cool, cool guy, welcoming environment. So I applied, was fortunate to get in, and day one, 2003, I meet Kyung. So Kyung was my undergrad advisor, and again, I mean, this is literally like first meeting at Tufts. Kyung was in his second year, and he invited, so chemical engineering, orientation group, and he invited us all out for beer in Harvard Square, and I said, oh, that's so nice. And then he realized that he invited a bunch of 18-year-olds out for beer, in Harvard Square. And so I realized he hadn't done this a bunch, but we didn't end up going. But it was a nice sentiment regardless, and one of the things that again, sort of continuing this thread of being a really welcoming environment. So, 2004, 2005, where's Dave Kaplan? Where is he back here? Dave? He's not paying it. There he is. Okay. So I realized I wanted to start doing research, and David was willing to have me join in his lab. And I spent many, many long nights taking silk protein and running circular dichroism on it. And for whatever reason, I look back at those times being extremely fond, like sitting in the back of the SciTech Center for hours on end running a spectrometer. And I look back, I'm like, how did I enjoy doing that? But I did. So good work on that. And look, like engineering was hard. Like I did okay, but I also remember one semester where, and you guys probably have had similar experiences where I probably averaged a 50 on all of our exams that semester. And of course, it's graded on a curve and all that. But it was a fun environment. And I ended up staying. So as Kyung mentioned, I started doing research in Blaine Pfeiffer's lab, and decided to stay for a graduate degree. And look, I really enjoyed it. Was fortunate to kind of run pretty quickly through that. And I kind of did my graduate things out in the wrong order. So I was kind of doing things in the wrong order. And the qualifying exam, so for those of you who are doctoral students getting hooded today, congratulations, first off. These guys failed me on my first qualifying exam. So I look back at that time, and I remember being like, oh, that's unfortunate. But, you know, and I'd been there for about 7 years or so now, so I'm kind of ready to leave. And we kind of went on a tear. Kyung and I published a couple papers. We published, I think we submitted 5 papers in 5 consecutive weeks. So we kind of went on a tear, and then I left. You know, I left pretty quickly. Don't get me wrong, I was super excited and was fortunate. You know, I kind of envisioned myself going to work in process development at a pharma company, a biotech company, Genzyme, Shire, et cetera. And I was fortunate to meet a couple people at Flagship Pioneering who were founders. You guys know them now from the founders of Moderna and et cetera, but you know, 10, 12 years ago, they weren't as big as they are today. So started at basically this 2-person company, and soon found myself working in sustainability. So I sort of visioned myself being a pharma biotech guy for my career, and found myself working in sustainability. So, and this was 15 years ago. And one of the things I want to hit on, I'm going to hit on a couple areas that are getting a ton of money in the public and private domain, and you guys all as engineers are enabled to help work on these really existential crisis type challenges. So, and I urge you to do so. So, crude oil, probably going to top $120 a barrel in the next month or two, and transitioning off of a fossil fuel-based economy to a bio-based economy where you could use microbes to transform simple substrates to more complicated products, or to take waste feedstocks and convert those into valuable feedstocks for making new molecules that have higher value added things, or things that certainly chemical engineers are enabled to do. Lithium price, so one of the enabling things of getting off of a fossil fuel-based economy, of course, electric cars. Lithium prices have quadrupled in the last 6 months. Cobalt prices have doubled in the last year. Big impact. Battery technology, something that's also getting a ton of money. So developing next generation materials, lighter, faster, and able to have a higher charge capacity. Super important areas that mechanical engineers, chemical engineers, electrical engineers can work on. We're also emitting more carbon, more CO2 than ever. So we had a slight dip in 2020 for some reason. But we had a slight dip, but we're still, CO2 levels in the atmosphere still exceed 400 parts per million. You know, 15 years ago, when I was here graduating as an undergrad, an Inconvenient Truth had come out around then, and we were about 375 parts per million. And the trend is still up. So carbon sequestration technologies via agriculture, via mechanical systems, via aquaculture, really important areas that many of you guys have the skills to be able to impact. On top of this, the world's likely going to exceed 8 billion people in the next year or two-ish. That is also coming with caloric intake of people increasing more dramatically, and a diet that's shifting towards a heavier meat-based diet. So improving crop yields through both digital practices, drones, remote sensing, as well as on-the-ground practices plant breeding, genetic engineering, and a transition to, David and I were talking this morning about cellular agriculture, transitioning to a lot of money coming into this space, transitioning from being able to produce meats instead of through a cow, but actually in the lab, and doing that sustainably and with the same taste and aroma profiles that you get out of producing those meats. Department of Transportation says a third of the bridges in the United States need to be replaced. That's a 40-year backlog of what they can do today. Next generation materials, better methods and methodologies, great opportunities for civil engineers and environmental engineers to work on. And like, I could keep going, plastics degradation, wastewater recycling, heavy metal remediation, et cetera, et cetera. And all of these things driven through machine learning, data science, software engineering, applied to all of these really massive problems to allow the inventive quotient for all of you to be greater and greater every single year. So, you know, I don't say all these things to get you scared. They're all opportunities for all of you guys. And they may not be opportunities, you know, you may have seen. You got the skills, whether you realize it today, by your engineering training and specifically at Tufts, you've got the skills to work on these. And you've got an exceptional name and an exceptional network of people in the room and on the stage to help you get there. So, and quite frankly, it's going to take all of your disciplines working together to address these things. Like these are big challenges. These aren't one-off things that are going to make a difference. So, so look, I'm going to leave you with a couple pieces of advice. One, widen your aperture. Like, you know, I left Tufts again thinking like, I'm a pharma guy, I'm going to do this. And I also left Tufts thinking that I had to find the exact job that was essentially a continuation of the job I was doing here at the Sci-Tech Center. That is not true. Maybe it's true for somewhat of your first job, but as you go out, realize the skills that you've learned along the way that position you to work on things that are really important and matter to you. Second, those 50s that you got on your exams, or that at least I got on my exams, don't matter. And quite frankly, this is going to be an unpopular comment, those 15 publications didn't really matter that much either. It helped me get my first job, and it's great, and it's a nice little thing I put on my resume, and here are these things, but that didn't matter that much either. So, but the things you learn from doing those things are really important. I learned how to take losses pretty well, and I learned how to achieve and accomplish pretty well. The next, like, work as teams. You know, engineers, we love our problem sets and all that type of stuff, right? And those are great, but the reality is for you guys to invent technologies, bring those to markets, and in practice to end users of those things requires strong collaboration with business colleagues, with finance colleagues, with commercial people. And maybe you don't realize that today, but inventing something is not going to do you much without those other people sitting in your corner. Next, keep grinding, and you're always selling. One thing I did not appreciate going through that qualifying exam process was that I forgot I was selling. I sort of went into this thing, didn't try that hard, figure I'd just walk out the door and graduate 6 months later. And they slapped me on the wrist, and appropriately so. So always keep grinding. And lastly, like, enjoy the moment you're in. You know I mentioned that I finished up quickly, was able to get a job and left, but I didn't actually get to appreciate the good times we were in at that time and the uniqueness of that period of time of your life. So enjoy it. And honestly, it's a really fun phase of your life that you live through, and I'm excited for all of you to take that next jump in your own lives. So, thank yous, Kyung. Thanks for the invite. Great to see you, of course. Blaine Pfeiffer, all of the faculty and staff here. 2 faculty members, Jerry Meldon and Moretta Stephanopoulos, unfortunately, were great influences for me. Unfortunately, they passed. But, of course, my family, Layla, who loves elephants, so maybe she'll be a jumbo. And all of you guys for your time, and congratulations.
Thank you so much for those words of wisdom, Dr. Boghigian. I also appreciate you mentioning the beer. I recall I offered ice cream. Now I'll turn things over to Dean Karen Panetta.
Thank you, Dean Lee. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll now begin the presentation of degrees. Please hold your applause until each group is awarded their degrees. And please, we also have to notice that when we do our hoodings or congratulations, please limit it to our handshake, and to all our faculty, please no hugging. We shall now recognize the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Engineering Management. Will the candidates please rise and proceed to the stage?
I have the honor to present to you the candidates for the degree of Masters of Science in Engineering Management. I would like to ask that Kevin Oy, Executive Director of the Tufts Gordon Institute, to join me in congratulating the graduates.
The former director of the MSEM program, Professor of the Practice Emerita Mary Viola, and the current SEM Academic Director, Professor of the Practice, Samuel Ajaro, will announce our graduates.
Oh, okay, yeah, they're going to give us our card.
They're going to give us the cards, yeah. So we'll just alternate. Okay, go ahead, you can start.
Alejandra Marin.
Take off our mask, too. Thank you very much. Ana Ahiba Plata. Thank you. We'll keep the cards, too. Yeah.
Kelly Jean Byrne.
Yeah. Marcia Stager.
Elizabeth Haddad. Harriet Chopra.
We'll alternate, okay?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right, that's all right. No problem. Lauren Frazier.
Sharon Dingle.
Kenneth Ferenz.
Gregory Williams.
Samuel Whaley.
Brett Richard O'Flaherty.
Yves Sabato.
Corin Scala.
Caitlin Kennedy.
Kristen Marapudi.
Jamie DeFelice.
Blackwell.
Emma Sinkers.
Marisa Diabasio.
John P. Fanning.
Henry Wang.
Adam J. Donahue.
Jeffrey O'Brien.
Connor Hughes.
Samdeep Desai.
Joe DeRove.
Claire Rogers.
Ekaterina Simonova.
Oliver Callego.
Andrew Yao.
Kelsey Smith.
Gordon Carlson.
Wesley Rankin.
J. Snell Goshlin.
Rodney Small.
Dean Romano.
I have the honor to present to you the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Innovation and Management. Kevin Oy, Executive Director at Tufts Gordon Institute, will continue to join me in congratulating the graduates.
Lecturer Jane Seminara will announce our graduates.
Naomi Duran. Thank you. Corinne Wilklow. Khalid Osama Al-Ayub. Adam Vogel. Ryan Huff. Rachel Keeney. Brian Kaufman. Jemima Charles. Julia Santos Nathaft. George Catillas. Clara Vamvulescu. Laura Wind. Haley Emma Yabrudi. Saishri Vangor. Sonam Parikh. Jensen Karabi. Kyle Cortese. Yisang Chen. Philip Iatru. Sierra Carter. Got it. Thank you. Alexis Albanese. Beth Krikorian. Latifa Almayol. Scott Sklar.
I have the honor to present to you the candidates for the degree of Master of Science. I'd like to ask that Karen Panetta, Dean of Graduate Education, join me in congratulating the candidates.
Professor Dean Swan, Dean of Undergraduate Education, Associate Professor of the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering, and Jonathan M. Tisch College of Civil Life will announce our graduates. And also Professor Eric Miller, Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering.
You want to bring him up?
Would the Master of Science degree candidates please rise and proceed to the stage?
I've had 4 shots. I don't know. I'm just going to maintain it. Hands off. Nathaniel Clint.
Anthony Mazzei.
Gabriel Umana.
Noah Goldberg.
Ashata Rowe.
Michel Anilus.
Adolfo Castillo.
Mina Kyrilos Girgas.
Z-Town Wang.
Hanzeng Liu.
Mu Hing Shen.
Leanne Anush Antandalayan.
Megan Ann Morrissey.
Rudra T. Shah.
Sue Nin Quint.
Shane McKay.
Owen Gervais.
Devin Tamarali Mikyan.
Eva Denman.
Sonsina Hilesalase Asifa.
Unrele Mansaya.
Sophie Fox.
Edward Spencer Smith.
Victor Arsenescu.
Hannah Corey.
Megan Coate.
Noor Khan.
Lauren Harrison.
Amila Lane Coffey.
Raveen Kaur Johal.
Jillian Megan.
Abigail Klaus.
Allison Sweeney.
Paul Francis Mullen.
Naato Shimada.
Matthew Forrest Burke Fiedler.
Peter Wolventon.
Jason Payne.
Aaron Shanada Wright.
Pira Limpiti.
Victor Soseto.
Neil Hagler.
Seth Foley.
Mitch Choi.
Rachel Lee.
Brandon Gray.
Matthew Griswold, the 12th.
Luan Bond.
Emma Joy Edwardson.
Brian Dawson.
Cooper Cone.
Victor W. Gao.
Benjamin Webb.
Daniel Patrick Riley.
Deirdre Murphy.
Sarah C. Burned.
Tara Munkenzie.
Tiuna Cooley.
Ashley Williams.
Aaron Sule Albridge.
Richard Allen Height.
Christopher Horner.
Chris Hugh.
Junyan Chen.
Zingli Wang.
Ra Yan Du.
Hung Gary Kyo.
Beer Lee.
Jonathan LaFrance.
Max Goodwin.
Conrad Walsh.
Gabriel Hollings.
Varun Shah.
Jiashu Zhang.
Nigel Chen.
Nathaniel Goff.
Marielle Corkum.
Cassidy Riley.
Vivian Agasco.
Marina Rueda Garcia.
Raul Gilligan.
John Connolly.
Mia Rukel Goldberg.
Travis Parker Van Brewer.
John Bodeski.
Andrew Crownellis.
Claire Wright.
Matthew Stout.
Sishu Kai.
Jiahi Chen.
Aaron Pon.
Er Lee Kai,
Xinghai Zhong,
Duan Yang Zhang,
Ran Go,
Jiango Kong,
Congratulations to the newly combined Master of Science candidates. Will the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy begin to approach the stage to be joined by their respective faculty advisor as their name is called? Okay, and I just want to let you know that as we read these, there's a special message for each of our candidates from their advisor.
I am pleased to certify that candidates have completed all requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy and have demonstrated by preparation of a written dissertation and by oral examination the sound and mature scholarship required of recipients of this high degree.
In the Department of Biomedical Engineering, we honor the following PhD graduates. Giles Blaney, dissertation advisor, Dr. Sergio Fantini. Dissertation title, Enabling Deep Region-Specific Optical Measurements in a Diffusion Medium with Near-Infrared Spectroscopy. Giles Blaney has been the most productive PhD student in my research group. His PhD research on non-invasive optical measurements of brain perfusion resulted in 16 peer-reviewed publications, 23 conference publications, and 3 patent applications. His wide-ranging technical brilliance includes exceptional theoretical modeling, coding, instrumentation, design, experimental, and analytical skills. Such research brilliance is complemented by a pleasant personality that makes him an ideal team player. We are all very happy that Giles will stay in my lab as a postdoctoral researcher. Congratulations. Oluro Time Bolondoro. A dissertation advisor, Brian Timko. Dissertation title, A Chip-Based Bioelectric Platform for Monitoring the Electrophysiology of Cardiomyocytes. Rotimi was one of Professor Timko's first graduate students and played a key role in setting up his new laboratory. In particular, he helped to develop a custom chemical vapor deposition system to grow silicon-based nanomaterials. In addition to his technical prowess, he was also adept at public relations, helping to calm the fire department when a miscalibrated sensor triggered a false alarm. Speaking of nearly having a heart attack, Rotimi developed an innovative heart-on-a-chip platform that could provide real-time bioelectric readouts representative of the model's heart function. This advance could have many applications, and in one project, Rotimi studied cardiac function in response to oxygen deprivation, similar to what happens during a heart attack. In another project, he used light to control cardiac function, opening new avenues for pacemaker-like regulation. In addition to his research, Rotimi is an outstanding teacher and leader and was even elected president of the Tufts chapter of Biomedical and Chemical Engineering Society. We are all excited to see what he will do next to make the world a better place. Congratulations. Nicholas Fiore, dissertation advisor, David Kaplan. Dissertation title, Bioengineered Three-Dimensional Human Brain Models to Study Neurodegenerative Diseases. Nick has studied Parkinson's disease for his thesis, building off of our unique 3D brain tissue models to extend their impact in studies of this devastating disease, where there are currently no suitable treatments for patients. He has persevered to develop new 3D tissue models with which to study Parkinson's disease with future implications for medical interventions. Along with these studies, he has gained expertise in bioinformatics as applied to biological systems to become a go-to person in the group for such data sets and interpretations. Congratulations, Nicholas. Onur Husturk, advisor, David Kaplan. Protection of mammalian cells against environmental stress by encapsulation in silk-based microgels or nanoshells. Onur joined our graduate student fellowship from Turkey, and he has done a remarkable job in his PhD research through creativity, persistence, and insight to establish a new approach to protecting and stabilizing cells with temporary self-assembled coatings. These coatings are cell-compatible, versatile, and offer exciting new options for cell injection therapies, 3D printing with cells, and many other directions where cell functions are improved via toughening cell membranes. He has established a new field of research that has many potential directions and implications for medicine, advanced manufacturing, and beyond. Congratulations. Luke Perrault, advisor, Lauren D. Black III. Dissertation title, Characterizing Age-Dependent Differences in Cardiac Fibroblast Function and Behavior in the Context of Tissue Engineering. Luke has always been a force for positive vibes in the Black lab with his quick wit, self-deprecating humor, and a constant on-point memes about life in the lab. Even more so, Luke was a terrific lab collaborator, always willing to give his own time to help others and move their project forward. Towards the end of his time, as he transitioned to the more senior PhD student in the lab, he also demonstrated a natural propensity for engaged mentorship of more junior lab members. His research looking at the impacts of developmental age on fibroblasts, the extracellular matrix, and the signaling between them has driven a new direction in the lab, with many more exciting things to come. Since defending his PhD, Luke has been working as a postdoc in the lab of Glenn Gaudet in the newly formed biomedical engineering program at Boston College, where he continues to develop both his research and mentorship skills. Congratulations. Vineeth Raghuram, dissertation advisor, Brian Timko. Fundamentals of artificial stimulation in the retina from neuronal activation of bioelectric interfaces. Helping the blind to see is often used as a metaphor. Vinny, however, took the phrase a bit more literally. Along with Professor Timko, he led a collaboration with the Mass General Hospital to understand the function of neurons responsible for vision. Retinal ganglion cells in the eye or cortex neurons in the brain. His work helped to dissect the mechanisms by which those neurons could be stimulated. He then worked with Professor Timko to design a new kind of microscale stimulation device that generated highly localized magnetic fields, and as a distinct departure from conventional technologies, could stimulate neurons with a single cell resolution. Vineeth's technology is compatible with standard fabrication processes and could play a key role toward the development of entirely new classes of bio-integrated high-resolution ocular prosthesis. Vinny, we are so proud of your accomplishments, excited about your future, and sorry to see you go. For now, we'll say, see you later. Congratulations. Natalie Rubio, dissertation advisor, Dr. David Kaplan. Thesis title, Entomoculture, Insect Cell Cultivation and Tissue Engineering for Cellular Agriculture. Natalie has catalyzed the growth of cellular agriculture from the time that she joined our PhD program, starting from a strong foundation of science and engineering and integrating these discoveries with the issues of animal and human health, sustainability, and feeding the growing population. Her contributions in research, teaching, mentoring, and overall leadership have propelled cellular agriculture forward, both at Tufts and well beyond. And her impact has been remarkable. Her specific research into the use of insect cells as foods of the future illustrates her creative thinking and views in building a new scientific field that has immense potential to have a major impact on the future. Congratulations. In the Department of Chemical and Biological Engineering, we honor the following PhD graduates. Ming Lei, dissertation advisor, Kyung Bung Lee. Dissertation title, Engineering Tools for Shaping the Gut Microbiota. Ming received the bachelor degree in bioengineering from Berkeley in 2015 and previously worked at DuPont Industrial Biosciences. Whoops, was someone missing? Who's S? Hold on. Who are you? Missing. We don't know who you are. What's your name? Okay, you're not in here. Okay. All right, this is Yi Sing Jung. Sorry about that. And the advisor is Professor Kaplan.
It's Xiaochen Jiang. Xiaochen.
Sultan?
Yeah, Xiaochen Jiang.
Okay. Oh, Xiaochen Jung, okay. I don't have a script on her.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, all right. Well, she's a special lady because she has so many people here behind her, so congratulations. And now Ming Lei. Okay, so Ming Lei's dissertation advisor is Kyung Bung Lee, and his title is Engineering Tools for Shaping the Gut Microbiota. So Ming just received his bachelor's degree in bioengineering from Berkeley in 2015 and previously worked at DuPont Industrial Biosciences and Bolt Threads, a startup company in the Bay Area. I have co-advised Ming with my colleague, Professor Van Deventer. In our labs, Ming has worked to develop new tools to selectively target bacteria and microbial communities, including the gut microbiota. Ming has brought a rare blend of experimental and computational skill sets to our labs and has been prolific as a researcher. He has co-authored 6 journal publications already, never mind experiments that never seem to work, pandemic-related shutdowns of labs, or building outages, power outages. I've had a deep respect and affection for Ming's humility and selflessness. In addition to fixing everything in the lab and lending his very talented hands and mind to other lab members, Ming has thoughtfully mentored several generations of undergraduate students. It has been my privilege to co-advise Ming. From Professor Deventer to Ming, to build on Dean Lee's comments, I greatly appreciate Ming's fearlessness and relentlessness as a researcher. It has been incredibly exciting to see him single-handedly establish highly unconventional applications of yeast display and follow his research whenever it leads, experimentally, computationally, or otherwise. The quality of Ming's work can exceptionally be seen in his well-written manuscripts and beautifully crafted visuals. It has been a tremendous honor and pleasure working with you, Ming. Samuel Launder, dissertation advisor, Ais Asatikan. Dissertation title, Fouling Resistant Zittertrionic Copolymer Membranes with Advanced Selectivity. Sam is an extremely intelligent, dedicated, passionate, and curious researcher, as well as a great team member and collaborator. What truly differentiates him as a researcher is his ability to use fundamental engineering principles to gain deep insight into complex processes and use this insight to design and develop new materials that solve hard problems. In his thesis, Sam develops new water filtration membranes with unmatched ability to separate ions and small organic molecules from each other, designed at the molecular level to control their selectivity. Beyond this, he carefully and deeply analyzed how different ions pass through new materials, gain insight that enable design of new materials for important environmental challenges. Water desalinization and reuse, recovery of valuable resources from waste, and energy-efficient removal of contaminants. He's already published 5 first or co-authored papers from his work. I have no doubt Sam will be successful whichever path he takes, and look forward to watching his accomplishments. Rachel O. Young, advisor, Samir Sankasali. Dissertation title, Reimagining Wearable Electronic Devices with Non-Volatile Gel Electrolytes. Rachel has been a trailblazer in my group. She was jointly supervised by myself in electrical engineering and Professor Matt Panzer in chemical and biological engineering. For her doctoral work, Rachel invented a new class of flexible transistors on thread and textile substrates using deep eutectic solvent, or DES gels, as electrolytes. She used such threads as part of a unique thread-based tissue-embedded multiplex diagnostic platform. Rachel also demonstrated DES gel and transistor-based pressure and strain sensors with record-breaking sensitivities. During her time at Tufts, Rachel has also worked on numerous other projects. For example, she demonstrated a new class of washable colorimetric sensing textile for gas sensing and helped make sweat sensing Band-Aids. Rachel will have published close to 20 journal articles from her work at Tufts. She won the SOE Graduate Award for Outstanding Research Contribution in 2021. She achieved this remarkable success by exhibiting all the traits of a successful researcher: curiosity, hard work, perseverance, teamwork, and with a relentless passion to learn new things and explore new ideas. I am glad that she agreed to stay on as a postdoctoral researcher in my group, at least for another year, as she pursues either a career in academia or at a national lab. Congratulations. So this is not Jessica. No. Grace Yao. Advisor, Kyung Bung Lee. A metabolomics approach to increasing CHO cell productivity. Grace received her bachelor's degree in biology and master's degree in biological engineering from MIT. Since 2013, she has been working at Bristol Myers Squibb in upstream bioprocess development. She joined our group as a part-time PhD student in 2017. Her research focuses on the metabolism Chinese hamster ovary, or CHO, cells in bioreactors used to produce therapeutic proteins. In her thesis, Grace discovered small metabolites naturally produced by the cells that can be supplemented to the bioreactor for improved productivity. Grace has been amazing to work with. She's incredibly smart, organized, and thorough, qualities you need to complete a doctoral thesis while working full-time and not letting a global pandemic get in the way. Grace is so warm, kind, and generous with her time. I'm so grateful for Grace's support, mentoring of Jenna and Sophie as well as all the time she picked up my coffee orders for our weekly lab meetings. I expect great things from Grace as she continues to grow her career and look forward to staying in touch as colleagues. Congratulations, Grace. This is not you, CJ. Are you Flannery? Okay. Flannery Dolan, dissertation advisor, Jonathan LaMontagne. Robust approaches to aid decision-making under uncertainty in coupled human-Earth system. Through her time at Tufts, Flannery Dolan has exhibited a rare intellectual curiosity and an impressive determination to tackle complicated experimental designs to answer important research questions. While accumulating a diverse research portfolio, her unifying intellectual theme is the improvement of decision-making for coupled land, energy, water systems confronting change. In addition to her own impressive scholarship, Flannery is an important contributor to larger scientific efforts among diverse teams of scientists and a good mentor to her fellow students. Congratulations. You're not Camille. Are you Camille? Come up. Come up. I want to know who you are. You're not Camille, are you? You're not Camille, are you? No. You're Carl. Okay. Carl Cronenberg, computer science. Dissertation advisor, Dr. Samuel Wagaya. Dissertation title, DSL's Annotations and Dynamic Instrumentation specifying the memory layout of Memory Manager to detect bugs with type state. Carl is one of the most technically skilled PhD students I've ever advised. In his doctoral research, he addressed the long-standing deficiency in the design and implementation of memory managers, which are part of the fundamental system software needed by every computing device. In spite of their central role, little prior work had been done in specifying, verifying, and debugging memory managers. Carl's work with both the theoretic aspects of formalizing these systems as well as the practical aspects, including the first of its kind debugger specifically for memory managers. Over the course of his doctoral work, he grew to be well-rounded, independent, and skilled researcher. I could not be prouder. Congratulations, Carl. Avana Jitsi, dissertation advisor, Jivko Sinapov. Dissertation title, Creative Problem Solving in Intelligent Agents, Domain Agnostic Methods for Novelty Resolution. In her doctoral work, Ivana has addressed the problem of how AI systems can detect anomalies and resolve them through creative problem solving on the fly. She evaluated her methods in a variety of domains, ranging from robots that manipulate objects to satellites and spacecraft. During her studies, Ivana worked at NASA in the summers, where she proposed and managed a project called Research in Artificial Intelligence for Spacecraft Resilience, which aims to provide spacecraft with software that diagnoses faults in real time in space flights and systems in general. Ivana was a dedicated mentor to several undergraduate students in our lab who helped conduct experiments, write publications, and present the findings at workshops and conferences. In the CS department, Ivana is known for her excellent TA skills, as well as a student who can regularly help out her staff in organizing and running community events. Ivana was my first PhD student, and I couldn't be more proud of her. I look forward to seeing her and all her accomplishments at NASA and beyond. Daniel Kazenberg, advisor Matthias Schweitz. Dissertation titled, Planning Explanatory Dialogue with Temporal Logic Norms. Daniel joined my lab in the fall of 2015 with undergraduate degrees in computer science and mathematics, a background that uniquely positioned him for the research that he ended up in pursuing in graduate school, which is squarely situated in the intersection of two fields. Right from the beginning, Dan decided to investigate formal methods for making artificial agents following ethical rules and social and moral norms, which he then implemented in various types of artificial agents. It was the project he picked among several I offered to all new graduate students that year for them to get started with research, and he stuck with it, producing exciting results in important publications and top venues along the way, a testimony to his abilities as a budding researcher. When he decided to take a job at Google DeepMind last year before his dissertation was completed, however, I was very worried to see a repeat of what had happened to other graduate students previously who started jobs before the PhD is won. They never finished. Like the others, Dan had promised that he would stick with it, and here we are. Different from the others, he really did it. Kudos for all your hard work and effort, Dan. It paid off. Shimeng Li, advisor Soha Hassoun, developing machine learning models with heterogeneous data for biological engineering applications. Shimeng is a clever problem solver and self-learner. Her inquisitive nature to pursue relevant questions, her systematic exploration of problems, and her strong communication skills have resulted in detailed and relevant studies that apply to machine learning to biological engineering applications. She is a patient and kind mentor who provides the technical guidance to members of the Hassoun Lab. She will be headed to an early startup in Kendall Square to work at the interface of machine learning and biological discovery. Her technical leadership and her inherent kindness will take her far. Congratulations. Lin Feng Liao, advisor Ling P. Liu, learning from relational data via graph neural networks. I feel fortunate to have Lin Feng as my first PhD student. He is creative, industrious, and enthusiastic about research. Together, we have spent countless hours on our research ideas, experiments, and paper writing. His hard work has turned into several important publications. He well deserves the PhD degree, and I applaud him for his achievements. Congratulations. Cesar Abrao Moody Gomes. Dissertation advisor, Mark Hampstead. Lightweight cache contention analysis through characterization, profiling, and modeling. Cesar has spent the last few years studying the intricacies of computer memory and caches. His depth of knowledge places him in the ranks of the world's specialists. Thus, his skills are widely sought out from the major tech companies, including AMD and Intel. He is also very good at branding his work with catchy acronyms such as Cached, ACE, and PINT. Congratulations. Alexander Hankin, dissertation advisor, Mark Hampstead. Evaluation of embedded non-volatile memories for modern computer systems. Alex Hankin is now a triple jumbo. During his PhD, he showed a thirst to learn new areas from quantum computing, heat transfer, processor microarchitecture, and emerging memory technology. Through his writing skills, he has and will continue to leave a record of accomplishment in the engineering literature. Congratulations. Shreyas Kamath, dissertation advisor, Karen Panetta. Advancing multimodal data through artificial intelligence technologies with applications to biometrics and nutrition science. Shreyas, along your academic journey, you have created novel databases to help other researchers advance state-of-the-art methods and AI in the process. Establish yourself as a prolific scholar through your numerous IEEE journal publications and co-inventor on more patents than most faculty earn in a lifetime. You have helped develop technology to save the lives of firefighters and locate victims in hazardous environments through your novel image processing algorithms that can see through smoke and fire. You spearheaded our team's collaborative research with our expert nutrition scientists from the Friedman School of Nutrition to develop artificial systems to help keep us all healthy and conquer diseases such as obesity and heart disease. Thanks to your research, your advisor has learned to eat healthy and is now 50 pounds healthier, for which she is forever grateful. Your peers in your group at your new position at the company, Simply Safe, shouldn't be surprised when they realize you are simply a superhero. Landry Kezabu, Yankum. Dissertation advisor, Karen Panetta. Dissertation title, Multimodal Image and Video Analytics for Intelligent Transportation Systems Using AI. Landry, you once said that God has to put the English in your tongue to successfully learn the English language. Well, I believe that God has brought you to hear us all at Tufts to open our eyes and hearts to what it means to overcome the adversity. You risked everything to journey here to the U.S. to join my team and jumped into the most challenging classes, projects, and research initiatives that others may have deemed computationally infeasible to implement. You worked collaboratively with the team on everything from artificial intelligence systems for biomedical image processing to creating predictive models for vehicle crashes, wrong-way drivers, and creating the world's first underwater object tracking database. Once you set a goal, you are unstoppable. You are a role model not just to what it means to be a Tufts doctoral student, but for all young people to see, with hard work, motivation, belief in oneself, that anything is possible. You will undoubtedly be leading your own team soon at your new position at Oracle. You have made your advisor very proud and helped keep all of us focused that nothing is more precious than our lives and our loved ones. Congratulations. Victor Oludare, advisor, Karen Panetta. Dissertation title, Multimodal Data Enhancement and Augmentation Methodologies for Developing Robust Artificial Intelligence Systems. Victor, you are the epitome of an interdisciplinary researcher. You started off using machine learning on drones for the protection and conservation of elephants for the Masai Mara National Preserve in Kenya, then developed an AI platform to monitor the population and health of white-tailed deer here in the US, and employed true transfer learning by closing your studies here at Tufts with a successful multi-million-dollar federal highway artificial intelligence proposal for traffic safety through the Department of Transportation here throughout the United States. Your professionalism and diligence are only surpassed by your kindness and thoughtfulness for your peers, community, and humanity. Everything you do enriches and touches the lives of everyone around you and those around the globe that will have and will inevitably benefit from your stellar contributions. It has been my honor to be your advisor. I hope you will not lament too much over missing the freezing, snowy Boston winters while you were in the overbearing sunshine and warmth of California at your new position at Apple. Congratulations. Srijit Rajiv. Dissertation advisor, Karen Panetta. Dissertation title, Human Visual Intelligence-Based Multimodal Multidimensional Analytics for Metaverse and First Responder Technology. Srijit, you've been a masterful teacher, superlative innovator, and a mastermind at juggling and organizing the most challenging projects. You have the Midas touch, where everything you touch turns into success. Your numerous patented inventions in image processing have become the fundamental technology for 3 new startup companies. Your novel work in pathogen detection in foods, while at times difficult and gross to look at, it will inevitably save lives, millions of lives, and save billions of dollars in food recalls. Your work in traffic management has overcome computational challenges in artificial intelligence that others deemed impossible to conquer. Your underwater image research has resulted in successful venture startup accelerator awards that will change the landscape of underwater search and rescue, aquaculture, and environmental monitoring. You will be an unparalleled force when it comes to making the world's next impactful technology that benefits humanity. You are one of my team's treasured infinity stones, and if I had to give you a superhero name, it would be Dr. Fantastic. Rahul Rajendran, advisor, Karen Panetta. Dissertation title, Image Analytics in Artificial Intelligence Architectures for Medical and Forensic Applications. As we see the proliferation of AI through every discipline, Rahul Rajendran has been ahead of the game, recognizing early on that the challenges and biases that impede researchers from producing trustworthy and robust AI. How many times have we heard that AI is more accurate than the experts? The problem with this statement is that AI is incapable of encompassing all the senses and perspectives of experts. That was until Rahul came along. He developed the world's first emulated expert with our own Tufts Dental School, Dr. Aruna Ramesh, an expert radiologist. Now researchers can quickly and robustly capture the data to train their AI system that takes into account what features experts look for and what considerations and questions they ask when making a diagnosis. He is the Tufts' first and only graduate student to receive the prestigious Department of Justice Graduate Research Fellowship, recognizing the game-changing potential and impact of his work. His novel algorithms have also helped better enhance and visualize data that the human eye can't readily see, and resulted in 4 patents. His work has been deployed in medical forensics and the security arenas, ensuring that humans do not miss important features that could have life-critical implications if overlooked. All these technology achievements are the results of Rahul's passion to propel others to make impact through their own research. He truly embodies all the qualities most of us aspire to achieve. He is brilliant, well-rounded, an exceptional team player, inspiring teacher and leader. We look forward to seeing you, Rahul, lead your new entrepreneurial venture, Tessera Intelligence, to total world domination in developing state-of-the-art artificial intelligence. Shishir Rao. Dissertation advisor, Dr. Karen Panetta. Dissertation title, Hypercomplex AI Platform for Image Analytics. Shishir takes on challenges that other experts have deemed intractable or impossible due to computational complexities of deep learning architectures. As a result, he's made profound impacts that have opened up new economic pathways and technologies that are saving lives, protecting the environment, and redefining the foundations of deep learning approaches. He architects novel algorithms and systems that have one common denominator. They all work in near real time, so decisions and results are immediate. This means that life-critical applications like self-driving vehicles, search and rescue missions can rely on his computing architectures to process information and guide them to ensure no victim is left behind and that systems are safe. Shashia's entrepreneurial spirit has resulted in him co-founding 2 companies and being selected to participate in numerous prestigious accelerator programs. He has demonstrated a superhero strength in his ability to work across diverse disciplines and develop powerful solutions, including pathogen detection on food, helping firefighters, enabling underwater search and rescue, and detecting wrong-way drivers. His work has resulted in 4 patents, with many more surely on the way. Shashir, I look forward to seeing you on Wall Street, ringing the opening bell when your new ventures go public. Here we go.
Today.
What?
My advisor is not here.
Alexander Sarek. Dissertation advisor Alexander Stankovich, today hooded by Dean Lee. Power systems analyst in a distributed setting based of information propagation in the graphs and gradient tracking. Alex came to Tufts with his MS degree. He has been an outstanding student at Tufts in both terms of grades and in terms of research productivity. He has several conference and journal papers published, with many more in the queue. In summary, he's been a great mentor of my research group, and I look forward to future successes, seeing his successes in electrical engineering. Congratulations. Where are you? Zheng Shu? Are you? Which department? Computer science? Electrical engineering? Here we go. Zheng Zhu, dissertation advisor, Alva Couch, a secure, accountable mesh routing algorithm. Professor Couch has known Zheng Zhu for 10 years, including the time that his late spouse, Jan, was the student of Professor Couch's spouse, Elizabeth, at Harvard. For the last 3 years, he has been working on strategies for self-organizing mesh networks with Professor Couch and Professor Chang. After considering and ruling out the use of cryptocurrencies for mesh network control, Zheng Zhu instead proposed an innovative and power-efficient approach to network monitoring that allows gateway routers to securely validate the exact path of each packet. Using this method, it is possible to determine whether a specific router in the mesh is misbehaving. This allows one to provide community mesh networking without the extra cost of human management. Zheng Zhu is currently employed by Piaggio's Fast Forward, where he is exploring use of mesh networking to link autonomous robots. Congratulations. I don't need this, but I know. Brianna Bouchard, dissertation advisor, Kristen Wendell. Dissertation title, Design, Enactment, and Analysis of a Portfolio Development Experience in Mechanical Engineering Undergraduate Program. I consider myself extremely lucky to have served as Brianna's PhD advisor. One of the countless impressive things about Brianna is that she has simultaneously worn many hats during her PhD journey. On top of being a groundbreaking engineer and education researcher, she's also an amazing teacher, advisor, coordinator, and collaborator. In each of these roles, she has modeled how to dig deeply into the work of educators and scholars that have not gone before, take from what's best from current learners and teachers, and build new approaches that center the interests and identities and needs of engineering students today. She has inspired me with her endless energy, willingness to change course when needed, and selfless commitment to taking care of others through both her teaching and research work. I am thrilled that we will continue on as colleagues next year when Brianna takes on a new role as teaching faculty at Tufts. Congratulations. Olukunani Owolabi. Last year, Olukuna was nationally recognized as a rising star in data science. His intelligence, leadership, and commitment, and his creativity led me to firmly believe that there would be no limit to his growth and achievements. During his graduate studies, he worked on a multidisciplinary, multi-university project that characterized the natural human world by highly interconnected systems in which a single discipline is not equipped to identify broader signs of symptomatic risk and create effective mitigation strategies. Through this project, he not only improved electrical grid reliability, but also illuminated energy justice issues, identifying at-risk communities. He has brightened my life, and I am honored that he is my first PhD student in May. May his light always shine for justice, sustainability, as he goes forth from his graduation to change the world. The words of his advisor, Dr. Deborah Sunter. Congratulations. Dita Schultz, dissertation advisor, Jason Reif. Application of agent-based modeling to problems in humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. While pursuing his PhD in the Tufts Mechanical Engineering Department, Dita worked full-time at MIT Lincoln Laboratory. His dissertation is the product of much determination and curiosity. His work explores how agent-based models can make the world a better place, improving the effectiveness of drone-based search and rescue, supporting post-disaster cleanup, and guiding decisions about deploying technology to mitigate the pandemic. He can be proud that one of his research products is currently in use by the CDC. Congratulations. Michael Stanak, advisor, Jeffrey Gausto, microbial transport in inhomogeneous environments. Michael is an outstanding scientist and engineer and had an extraordinarily dedicated experimentalist in the laboratory. His PhD research led to groundbreaking fundamental insights in the swimming motility of single cells in mucus and biofilms, and he developed novel microfluidic devices for rapidly screening the response of bacteria to chemical signals. After Tufts, Michael is taking on a postdoctoral appointment in the physics department at Brandeis University, where he will be developing new microfluidic technologies to tackle a wide array of problems in biology and material science. Congratulations. Sarah Wilner Gowork, advisor, Chris Rogers, designing for solution, diversity, and educational robotics learning experiences. I first met Sarah when she was a high school student that was reaching out for advice in an engineering program she had started. She really didn't need any. She came to Tufts and as an undergraduate worked with teachers around the world in new ways of bringing engineering to the classroom and won a few awards in softball. Her undergraduate thesis had second graders learning about the Internet of Things. As an NSF graduate fellow, she studied how to help teachers pose problems in the class that promoted a wide diversity of possible solutions or right answers. Her work showed that while students often like the nice, neat questions that have one right answer, they felt that real thinking like an engineer only came when there were many possible solutions. Her work on placemats or activity cards has been adopted by LEGO Education to promote more open-ended projects in the classroom. It has been a lot of fun working with her, and I'm excited to see how she brings her work to thousands of classrooms across the country through her new job as project lead the way, an engineering curriculum company. Congratulations. Zixia Zhao, advisor, Luisa Chiesa, structural analysis of high-temperature superconductors for high-field superconducting magnets. During his PhD, Zixia has become an expert in finite element analysis for superconducting materials to be used in magnets for fusion energy applications. Zixia has been a great member of the superconductivity lab at Tufts. His smile and energy were contagious. His dedication to help other students was admirable, especially when mentoring undergraduate students. Zizia, I am very proud of what you have accomplished at Tufts, and I'm looking forward to following your career and your future achievements. Congratulations. What did we say about hugging? Didn't we say the faculty was going to be the violators? Congratulations to all our newly confirmed PhD graduates. Dean ad interim and Carroll Family Professor Kyung Bung Lee will now conclude today's ceremonies. Please remain seated until the platform party has departed the stage and the graduates have completed their recessional. Then please join us at the rear for a celebratory reception.
Thank you, Dean Panetta. Graduates, it is a bittersweet moment. Your time at Tufts is coming to a close. Though most of you are leaving this campus, I hope that no matter how far you go, you will always carry with you the lifelong connections and community that you have forged here. It has been a privilege to share this time in your lives. This is only the beginning. On behalf of Tufts School of Engineering, I wish you joy and success in your many adventures ahead. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of Tufts University and the faculty of the School of Engineering, I now pronounce these ceremonies concluded. Congratulations, everyone.